Good day. How are you all? I hope you're enjoying sunny Jamaica. Wish I could be there, but unfortunately I can't. My name is Karen Wilson Robinson, and it is my honor and indeed my pleasure to be a presenter in this worthwhile program under this year's theme, Creativity for Nation Building. Creativity plays a pivotal role in nation building across various domains. It's integral to your economy or culture, technology, social development, and can have a significant impact on nation building. I am an attorney based in New York and newly qualified to practice there in Jamaica, and my practice is surrounds intellectual property as it relates to the copyrights, trademark, and patents, all having to do with creativity. So, what does creativity, or how does I should say creativity impact our nation building? Economic growth. Creativity fosters innovation, which leads to development of new products, services, and industries. So when you think of that new idea that you had and you seek to obtain a patent or a new idea leading to a new business opportunity that impact economic development, or even a new song that motivates our society. You want to ensure that you are protecting them so that you too can have the economic benefits of your creativity. Creativity can impact nation building through our cultural identity. Creativity is instrumental in preserving and promoting a society's a cultural heritage. When you think about our festival songs, what does that do? It promotes our culture, promotes our I remember as a child growing up hearing the festival songs and becoming engaged in selecting that year's song and learning it and hearing it over and over again. It built a certain level of camaraderie that people became engaged every time you have those festival song competitions. But you're putting your music out there. You want to ensure that you're also protecting it through your copyright protection. I talked about the camaraderie of our nation. The creativity plays into social cohesion. What is that? It brings people together. It transcends boundaries, transcends race, religion, and then ethnicity. When you have I participated in a robotics competition. Well, I didn't participate. I attended the robotics competition with the robotics team. And I remember the team walking out to the field, into that arena, to Bob Marley's One Love. And the robotics competition is comprised of students from all over the globe. Over 150 nations participated. And when you hear people who don't even speak English all singing One Love, that was a pride moment for all of us Jamaicans in that arena. And this was in Mexico City, probably 3 years or just before the pandemic. So it was really a proud moment for us Jamaicans to hear the whole arena erupt into Bob Marley's One Love. And that just shows you how we can have that social cohesion, because it was all colors, all religions, all united in singing Bob Marley's One Love in that moment in the arena. Creativity for nation building can also be accomplished because creativity leads to problem solving. Creative thinking is essential to address complex societal changes, or challenges rather, such as poverty, inequality, environmental degradation. Creative solutions often emerge from interdisciplinary collaboration and unconventional approaches, leading to a more effective and sustainable collaboration or outcomes in areas such as maybe healthcare, education, urban planning, but also in the intellectual property space. If you're ensuring that those creatives amongst us are being compensated for their creativity, that they're indeed seeing the economic benefit of what they've done, and it's being protected and it's being celebrated. you ensure that you continue along that pathway. Another area where creativity can impact our society through technological advancement. When you think of a patent, what does a patent do? A patent is, the registration you get for coming up with a new, innovative product or improvement on an existing product. That can actually help to build a nation. It's the cornerstone of national progress when you have innovation, when you have investments in research and development, coupled with a culture that encourages experimentation and risk taking and encourages their citizens to engage in technological research to ensure that they're always on that cutting edge, that they're always doing so much more to advance the society. And that's why for, patents, you get that exclusivity. It's really not an exclusivity for you to make it. It's for you to exclude others from making, using, selling your creativity. And when you have that kind of restriction, you get that economic benefit that cannot actually end up in building, and you're building that society and the nation building that this year's theme encompasses. Having creativity, you can see the global influence. I mentioned before, the whole arena erupting into singing Bob Marley's One Love. Where does that come from? That just speaks to the impact Bob Marley has had on the global community. No matter where you go in this world, you start playing a Bob Marley song, somebody's bound to join in because it's a globally recognized brand, Bob Marley. And that speaks to the influence that our cultural, reggae has had across the world. Nations with vibrant creative industries wield power across the global stage. Those communities or those countries that are advanced technologically impact the rest of the world. So having that influence, being able to use our creativity to build our own nation and then go on onto the global stage does a lot to build our nation. Another area where creativity would have an impact on nation building would be education and human development. Fostering creativity in educational environments, getting our students involved in critical thinking. One area that I've been involved with is robotics. We're now going into the primary schools with these robotics competition, and it's amazing to see these students create a robot that can do a task, whatever the task is that they're assigned. It's seeing them come together. It's seeing them being able to build this thing that is going to accomplish that task, that brings these students together. It engages them in critical thinking. How can they solve the problem? How can they do what's needed to be done to ensure that they get the task? And you see that at the same competition that I spoke about. They do what's called alliances, where they have 3 countries that partner together to accomplish the task, utilizing their robots. And you see them meeting with each other. You see them sharing their ideas. You see them strategizing. Well, my robot can do this, and my robot can do that. How can we use our robots to their best advantage to ensure that we accomplish the task together? That's the kind of stuff that education does. And human development, having our students be engaged in critical thinking, empowers our individuals in our society to adapt to change, embrace diversity, and contribute meaningfully to society. So, creativity fuels motivation, it fosters cultural expressions, it strengthens cohesions in a society, it drives progress across all facets of nation building. And investing in and promoting creativity is essential for nation building. And one piece of that is, while we're encouraging and fostering creativity, that we ensure that that creativity is protected, that once you come up with the idea, come up with that thing, once you have that written expression, that you explore, how do I protect this to ensure that I get the economic benefit, my organization, my entity, my country gets the economic benefit of that creativity. That's how we build on our that's how we engage in nation building. That's how we use creativity to ensure that we have these advancements and ensure that we are sustainable, to ensure that our country does not take millions of steps backwards, but that we move forward and we ensure that we can stay and we can compete on the global stage, and that we're in empowering our citizens to be cohesive, empowering our citizens to ensure that they too are engaged in nation building, and creativity goes a long way to accomplish that. Hopefully this is helpful. Thanks again for having me. I'm happy to answer any questions that may be submitted. And next year, I hope to be there in person so that I can be there also engaging in this exercise, which goes a long way as well to enforce and encourage nation building. Thank you again. Have a wonderful rest of the day, and I look forward to being with you next year.